Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is middle of the month for the month of May tarot oracle reading. And Taurus, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Taurus, we all have a little bit of Taurus in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Taurus in, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. Whoops, this is supposed to be here. Don't mind me, I'm doing a new setup here and it's taken me a while to get used to it. We're creatures of habit. So this is also a timely reading. If you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, what was going on in your life, back when I posted this, if it's been a while. Just let me check here. Okay, good. All right. I just wanted to make sure that I have this set up correctly. I haven't figured out how to get my camera to always go in horizontal or vertical. So when I do a new spread, I had to figure it out twice here. All right, so I have the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck is the Hangman. The Hangman is talking about, he hangs from the tree of knowledge because he wants to get an upside down perspective of something he's been trying to figure out for a while. And he wants to look at it from all angles. Once he looks at it from all angles and his aura is bright, it means that he is ready to move forward. All right, so that's the underlying energy for the entire reading. And then this is for your internal forces. This is right up the pentacle alley for you, Taurus. This is talking about the 9 of Pentacles. There's only 10 Pentacles in the tarot, so that if you are at 9 Pentacles, this is talking about, 10 would be like billionaires, and this is multimillionaire energy. This is generational wealth, something like that you could pass down to your children and your children's children. This always also reminds me of Nikola Tesla, the great inventor and genius. He would talk about the beauty of the 369, that it would give you the key to the universe. And you can see here, she has her hand on 6 pentacles, and then she has these other 3 pentacles behind her. And this falcon represents her foresight to be able to see the big picture. And so it's talking about keeping a ratio, 2/3 and 1/3 basically. She always makes sure that she has her hand on enough of the pentacles to be able to pay her bills and, in business and at home, and make sure that she has any left over for any emergencies, etc. And then this 3 of Pentacles is representing, excuse me, is representing the energy of, maybe one of these she wants to use for investments that are more risky. So if she should lose her investment, she would still, it wouldn't crush her or anything. She would still have enough to pay her bills. And then this energy is also talking, the second one might be for an energy of paying for charity, and the other one maybe saving up for a holiday or something. This is talking about being very grateful for what you have and then appreciating it, making it even more so. And this is pre-Empress energy. In the tarot, there is, in the major arcana, there's the Empress, and she embodies the qualities of all 4 queens in the minor arcana. So this is talking about being at pre-Empress energy from all the life experience that you've learned from being out here on the planet. So this is talking about your internal forces. Internal forces you have control over, and that you can tell it's an internal force because the question you'll be asking is, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if they do this? What if I do that? It could keep you up all night actually being in that loop. And so that's probably why the Hangman's decided to search for more knowledge. Then in your self-identity, how you see yourself right now, this is interesting because the Knight of Cups represents, the cups represent the element of love. And this is about the heart. And so, you know, this could be romantic love for sure. It can also be love of anyone or anything, and as well, love of something you love to do or be. The Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor that we read about in all the novels and that shows up in the movies. So this energy quite often is communication coming in regarding love, like maybe a proposal or someone asking you out on a date, some sort of energy like that. You know, in the old days, the knights would travel far and wide throughout the kingdom to be able to deliver messages and communication from the king and queen to other kingdoms, and then that was the only way that they had to do so. And the knights, of course, would always be male, but these days this could easily be a female energy in her masculine energy. And it can also represent all the ways that we have communicating now. So it doesn't have to be in person like in the old days. This could represent maybe you get something in the mail, an invitation or something like that, or a card, possibly you phone call, a text message, maybe an email. You could be on social media. Someone could message you and say, hey, you know, why don't you come to my event? And you attend the event, and the next thing you do know, you are you know, you've met in person someone that you really, that you hit it off. This can also represent online dating. And a good idea, if you're looking for information or communication, if it's not about romantic love and it's about something you love to do or be, or someone else that you love in your family, your friends, you know, that type of energy, this could be, you know, someone that, like the knight in shining armor could represent someone that wants to invest in your business or like in something that you love to do or be, and maybe someone in your family that wants to invest or something like that. And then we have this energy of the Knight or the Page of Swords. Page of Swords energy is representing communication as well. And you know, the pages would work for the king and queen when they were very young. You have to think back in those days, the life expectancy was like less than half of what it is now. So they, you know, they would start very young, depending on how mature they were, between 7 and 14 years of age. And of course, it was a real coup to be given that, to land that position, because, you know, it would be learning the ropes and the royalty and living a better lifestyle than the people surrounding. This energy, if, you know, they were really good at it, they might even be considered for knighthood when they get older. The element that this Page of Swords represents is the element of air. It's your thoughts. And that is from your mental intelligence. The swords represent your mental intelligence and your discipline of your mind. Now, the Page of Swords can quite often represent someone who, you know, he's like a breath of fresh air. This could be just not even coming from outside of you, but you might have like an aha moment. Aha, that's what, you know, when something's in the back of your mind and you're trying to figure something out, it might be like a thought that comes out of nowhere, an inspiration, an idea for a business or that type of energy. Or if you've been working on a project, this is what I can do, or you meet this person and they have an idea and it's, you know, it's all exciting and you're like, yay, finally I figured it out. This card also quite often reminds me of someone who is golfing. If, you know, it's familiar body language. And, you know, the thing about golfing is it's a very mental sport. So this is talking about staying in the game, and that, you know, if you are playing golf, you're not competing against the other golfers. You're competing against the best last version of your last game, especially if it's on the same grounds. And so this energy is talking about, you know, beating yourself, not other people. If you can improve even 1% your performance. And also, I feel like a lot of people that are in business and in politics and etc., they like to go golfing not just because it's a beautiful day and it's a beautiful scenery and way better than being stuck inside. in a business convention center or something, but you can tell a lot about a person by the way they golf. Imagine after 8 holes, you know, if you have the very first hole, you have a really bad score, and you know, you throw your club and start cursing in that, they might, you know, like, oh, this guy can't hold his temper very well. So they can tell if you're a good winner, if you're a good loser. Are you able to handle the pressure, that kind of energy? Are you an interesting conversationalist in between the you know, the holes? So it's that type of energy. It's about discipline of your mind, and this is talking about your abundance and self-worth. Now, this sometimes can also represent some sort of information coming in from like investigations or that type of energy, someone that's been looking into things. All right, whether that be a private detective or an actual force. Okay, I was just double checking that I've got this set up properly. I do. We're creatures of habit, and I find that when I'm doing a new spread, I wanted to highlight my paintings from my oracle, and I just you know, kind of figured it out this morning, and it took me a while. And now I got to make sure that I have that you'll be able to see it at the end. Great. So just bear with me. By the next round, I'll be a few more of these, and I'll be with the program. And so this is talking about victory after, you know, some sort of competition. Maybe someone took you out golfing, so and they wanted to see how you really are, and you came out victorious. This quite often could represent, the wands represent the element of fire. This is about taking action with passion. And so this is victory. Maybe you have offered someone a cup of love, or they have offered you one, and it's victory because you said yes or they said yes, and you hit it off and you're enjoying each other's maybe you both love to golf, who knows. But this is talking about, sometimes this could represent like you know, a competition in sports or something like that, but it could also represent an energy, maybe even fighting for someone, you know, like wanting to have someone, a particular person in your life, and they've said yes. Or maybe this is talking if it was like a promotion at work or something, and you notice all these people in the back, they wanted the same thing, but they might be a little bit disgruntled, but they have to admit you're a leader. And the reason why is because you were able to control your emotions and discipline your mind, so that you came out as a leader, and that's why you have been victorious. This is a sign of victory. And then we have the King of Swords energy coming out. And this, by the way, is in your communication, how you learn to communicate in early life. So you might have been someone that when you were younger, you were in sports or whatever, you know, extracurricular activity, and you were very, very good at it, and people recognized you as a leader, you know, or you maybe were an extremely good student in school, that type of energy. You might have had parents that really put an emphasis on that, and you know, made sure that you had the skill set, just like, you know, you know, for the families around the royalty, if their child would be chosen to be one of the children working for the king and queen, they would be, it would be quite a coup. And this energy here is talking about the King of Swords. So, you know, this, maybe the Page of Swords works for the King of Swords, you know, we don't know yet. But this energy is, let's see, that's abundance, and then the King of Swords. Maybe the King of Swords took the Page of Swords under his wing, kind of energy. Now this is representing someone that uses their thoughts, their words. You know, thoughts are expressed through words, and that could be by the written word, or it could possibly be verbal. So someone that earns their living using their words, and possibly documents, etc. And so this quite often could represent a politician, and it could also represent, you know, if it is a politician, it would be someone, you know, this is a king, so this would be a president, a prime minister, maybe someone in the Congress or the Senate, you know, a minister in the federal government, that type of energy, someone high up. And also this could represent, a lot of times this can represent legal, the legal field. So it would be someone, if this is a lawyer, this would be a lawyer who's a partner in an established firm. a judge, maybe a head prosecutor, that type of energy. If, you know, this could be an author that's on the best-selling book list, you know, that wrote a book. It could represent a surgeon, a veterinarian, a dentist, that type of energy. Maybe, I'm trying to think of any others. Well, you get the picture. This could be a social media influencer, someone who speaks for a living, that type of energy as well. So the energy of this is just saying that, you know, the King of Swords is a master of whatever skill set he's in. And he understands the power of words. He understands that words can uplift people, or they can be used as weapons. And that, you know, if you do give your word and you don't follow it up with action, action speaks louder than words, so then your word becomes useless. And this is in the home and family, your emotional foundation now. Like, how are you? So I am feeling like you are the head of the household kind of energy, whether you're the male or the female. Remember, this could, any of the characters in the tarot are not gender specific, so that they're representing masculine and feminine energy. And this position is about creativity, romance, and children. So the Queen of Pentacles, that energy represents someone who's very, she is known for being very resourceful and being really good with handling money. I just want to point out the Pentacles are represented, they're an earth sign, and so they are represented by the coin, but they are, you know, you could have all the money in the world and still not living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is talking about the Queen of Pentacles. She can make something from nothing and improve anyone's lifestyle. She's someone who's stable, you know, you can count on her. And this energy is also very much, she prefers quality over quantity. So this isn't flashy money. This would be like generational wealth, a legacy that you can pass down to your children and your children's children. And so she's someone that is, you know, looked up to for being stable and reliable and, you know, good in the home, good at business, you know, that type of energy. Someone who can create a good lifestyle, knows how to run a house so that it's efficient. And then we have the strength. And this is having the courage to face something. Now, in this lower energy here, there doesn't seem like there's a whole lot. You've got a lot of really good energy going on here. We do have some concern over here, but perhaps there's been something that's happened for you in the past when you were younger. That's sometimes this can represent, the strength card can represent having to have the courage of looking back on something that has happened. And quite often, like, this is a young woman reaching into a lion's mouth. And this is a mature male lion. Like, that's a very dangerous undertaking. But he is submissive. He's got his tail tucked under, and that's because he understands, he can tell by her energy that she is facing her fear, and this is why she's doing this. And she has, she's determined to face her fear. The infinity symbol above her head represents that she knows if she can face her fears, then she can really propel herself forward in a very, very strong way and have a much more promising life. And so this is about the courage to face, you know, whatever you're afraid of so that you can move forward. And then we're going to talk about the external forces. Now, the external forces, you don't have control over those, but you do have control over how are you going to react, or are you going to respond to whatever energy comes towards you from the external forces. When the external forces are in play, you're not asking anymore what if, you're asking what EF, what the F happened here, that type of energy. And so, but look at this. We have, I mean, that can be in a good way or it could be in a bad way. And the good news is you're on a new journey here. And I feel like this is talking about, this energy is talking like you're on the edge of change here. Some information came in, and I do feel it might be regarding this energy here. Whatever this is, you are victorious, and you might be this King of Swords energy. you know, that is wanting to offer a cup of love, and having just maybe had a really big promotion, maybe something, your book is on the best, you know, the bestsellers list on the New York Times, that type of energy. And so this is, you're beginning a new cycle in this excellent energy. This is a really beautiful energy. And this is also Taurus energy. Like if you, when you, the Empress is represented by the Taurus energy, by the Pentacle energy. And so this is right up your alley to be in this energy, starting off on a new venture here, a new cycle starting at the 0 point. Now the Fool is starting on a new cycle, and he has very little baggage, but you notice that's due to the work that you've done here, but you notice here that his sleeves are tattered. So this represents an energy of, you know, this isn't the first cycle he's been on. But he has learned from the past, and now he's moving with that energy into the new cycle. And then we have a rebel with a cause. Woohoo! So this is talking, this external force coming in is this energy of this new cycle. And this is passion. The rebel, the Knight of Wands is the rebel with the cause. You know, he is very passionate. He has his element is fire and taking action. And of course, this is made of wood. And it is representing the energy of, you know, the tree, basically. Wood feeds fire. And then this is also the energy of the tree. And that is talking about, you know, deep roots from the ancestors, and then the descendants. So I feel it has to do with this generational wealth. But the Knight of Wands is like very much like Sagittarius energy. This represents Sagittarius energy, the centaur that, you know, raises his bow and arrow to the skies, and he shoots into the sky to land his arrows right on the target. Boom, 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 just like that. And so he's got this big red plume on the back of his helmet, representing that, you know, he is a bit of a hothead, and he knows it, and he could be very impulsive, especially when he was younger. You can see he's been there, done that too, by the flags on his sleeves, the red flags on his sleeves here. But he has learned to rein in his emotions, and that's this energy here, you know, reining it in, so that he doesn't, he's not impulsive like he used to be, and he doesn't react with his temper like he used to. He has much more patience as he's matured. And this is talking about the mysteries of the world, like loving to travel, adventure, that type of energy. Now this energy is also very, very similar to the energy of the fire horse energy in the Chinese New Year. And on February 17th, we moved into that energy, the fire horse energy. And so this is talking about you know, almost exactly the same energy. The danger here is with this fire horse year, which is going to last until February of 2027. This energy, if you already are fiery, you want to be careful, because the fiery energy, there's a lot of fire there then, and a lot of passion. And so this is talking about, Stella, be a good little girl, okay? Yeah, I know. I know. You lay down and be a good girl. She has happy feet. She loves to be here for the readings, but she's torn because I put food down for her so that she would go and eat and leave me alone, but it didn't work. Her job, she takes it very seriously. She purrs and raises the vibration. A cat's purr actually can lower your blood pressure, so I figure that it can't hurt. The energy here, though, what we're talking about is this fire horse energy. Be very careful that you don't become too impulsive, because the energy can run away from you. And also, don't set your goals so high that you, without giving yourself a reasonable amount of time to accomplish what you want to accomplish, and burn yourself out so you don't make it to the finish line. Very similar energy. And this is in your partnership, commitments, and marriage. So this could be this new love coming in, is this rebel with, in this energy at least. Could be this rebel with a cause, and very passionate as well. So perhaps they're passionate, yeah, because look at this. We have this energy here of someone standing on the precipice of change. I feel that this person has possibly just left a relationship in the past. Quite often when I have two wands planted here, it represents someone who was in a couple and now they're moving forward single. And maybe this is like, oh, well, you know, they have been on a relationship break, you know. Sometimes this energy here can talk about the King of Swords energy, sometimes talks about like divorce lawyer. But you know, that's in this is someone coming from the external forces towards you. I feel that is involved with this cup of love energy, and this is perhaps they have left a relationship, or maybe you have, and this is taught. Maybe you both have. So this person is standing on the precipice of change. He's seeing all this golden, this water in between. It's golden from the sun, and there's ships sailing by, and he's thinking, man, I want to hop on one of them babies and move forward. That type of energy, just ready for the new, ready for some adventure, that type of energy. And then we have the Queen of Swords energy coming in. So this is talking in this position about the transition happening. So I feel like maybe he stepped forward and has asked you out. So this could represent then that this would be the person that's asked you out, and maybe you've said, yes, I'll go out with you or whatever. And it's evolving into a strong relationship possibly. The Queen of Swords energy, of all the queens, she is the most, considered the most cold. And, you know, quite often, if she comes out together with the King of Swords, it can represent that she is divorced, and that they're a divorced couple here. So this could talk about, it's interesting because, you know, let's just talk about who the Queen of Swords is first. So she has been there, done that, has the t-shirt, is not interested in any bullshit whatsoever from anyone. No bulls. So she's talking about, you know, she's got her left hand out, so she's willing to receive, but she's not. And, you know, this is this Taurus energy, the new moon, or the full moon that we just had was in the sign of Scorpio, transition, that type of energy, and the sun was in Taurus, so it was like the opposing sign across from you in the horoscope talks about like that you share a lot of like the full moon. You would have really felt it, as well as the Taurus and Scorpio energy would have felt this that last full moon. And the new moon coming up is also going to, it's now the moon was in Scorpio before, and now this energy is talking like that the new moon on May 16th will be in the sign of Taurus. I'll do a bonus reading about that, but I just want to point it out that this transition energy, with that full moon that we just had, the energy, it was right on May 1st. The energy was kind of like a conflict between Taurus is saying, leave my shift alone. Taurus wants to have luxury, and they want to be in a situation where they know that their bills are paid. Like this energy, this is Taurus energy, and they care about their security, and they're usually, very good with finances. They make sure that they have what they need. And so this energy is opposing. And so we have the Queen here now. And this energy could be talking about maybe these people were married. So this could be talking, because this is your emotional foundation right now. This could represent that you are divorced. And this, now that you're divorced, this Knight of Wands wants to come in, and he's the one who's given you this offer, if it's not you having given one. And so this is talking, she's considered to be the coldest queen, but she really isn't a cold person. It's just that she's in that energy right now because of everything that she's been through here. but she's willing to receive this new energy coming in. But she does have her sword up, and she's like, if you come in with any bullshit whatsoever, I'm off with your head. And she does have clarity what she wants. She this is talking about, you know, she just doesn't want to repeat the same old bullshit, and she doesn't want to put up with people that put her through bullshit. She has clarity of what she wants and what she's willing to tolerate and what she's not willing to tolerate. And this is in your higher learning. Of course, like if you've been through a divorce or whatever, you're going to be in that position where maybe, hopefully you've learned from it, that type of energy. And then we have the immature competition. So, you know, immature competition, this is the only card in the tarot that has the adolescents fighting like this. And so this is representing, I call it my mean girls card. This is like, think about cheerleaders, you know, younger cheerleaders, like high school, you know, early high school, maybe late elementary school. And they're at a competition, a cheerleading competition, and they want to win. And they can see the other team is better than them. And they throw their club, that type of energy. So they're like, they want to win and they want that trophy. And they don't care if the other team is better than them. They're trying to figure out a way that they can beat them, whether it's fair and square or not. And if they don't succeed, their mothers are pulling strings behind the scenes to make sure that they do. It's that type of energy. And then what we discussed here with you know, the golf and all of that, this is talking about, you know, when you mature, you start to realize that the competition is really with yourself, regardless if you're on a team or whatever it is. And now this could be the opposing team, and you won, but they had to acknowledge you won, you did win. And that maybe the prize was this energy here, you know, this cup of love coming in. Maybe this is someone that is very desirable, and you know, you're the one that they've chosen out of all the competition, and they're, you know, they're disgruntled, but they have to admit, dang, you know, she won or he won, whichever way this goes. Oh, and look at, see, I told you. They're very, this is career and reputation as well, right? This position. So they went out of their way to sabotage you to win, and it didn't work out so well for them. That's the energy. So that might be what you were dealing with here, that, you know, how are you going to deal with the competition? And I feel that you just chose to hold your head high and continue on your journey and do the best you could with what you had, even though they had damaged your reputation, had gone to great lengths to get you down. Like this card is talking about being sabotaged to the point, like where you've been stabbed in the back so many times that now you're down on the ground and you know, left for unalive. And this energy is saying, like, it could have been happening over a decade or more. This energy is saying it could have been you know, 10 people involved. With all these pentacles, it sometimes even means that once a year there was some sort of payment that was supposed to come through, or some sort of, I don't know, maybe a trust fund or something like that, and you didn't receive it, but they did somehow. That type of energy. There's light at the end of the tunnel, though. This is a blessing in disguise a lot of the time. This is representing, look at this person's hand is in the form of a blessing. And the Hierophant also has his hand in the form of a blessing. So this is about blessings coming in after a very difficult time. This isn't like someone sort of didn't like you very much. This is a calculated effort to ruin your reputation so that you wouldn't win, and you won anyway, whatever that was. Maybe you won in business as well, and as in you know, this could represent a bunch of different businesses competing for the same, you know, clientele or that energy, as well as maybe, you know, competing for this love energy coming in. Interesting. So whatever they wished upon you, like, it's backfired on them. This is the boomerang effect. And now they're going to have to put up with their own bullshit, basically, because whatever they wished on you, you have come out victorious. And They're now, this is blessings coming in from the Most High and the universe, an end of a cycle. And the Hierophant represents traditional structures. So this is coming from the spiritual realm down to the physical, and justice will be served in whatever situation, that whatever they did is going to be, you're going to receive 100-fold what you should have, and they're going to receive 100-fold what they wished for you. And then we have the, and it looks like you did go through a dark night of the soul because of this energy. That's when something happens and it was so painful, and I mean, to be down in this position, this is really hard, challenging energy. But you decided, instead of giving up and laying there, you decided, okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go climb a mountain, I'm going to go to the top, I'm going to gather all the knowledge I can, I'm going to meditate and pray and ask for God's assistance. And when the lantern fills with the light of the northern star, which is your guiding star, and it's reflecting on your staff, then you come down from the mountain and take action. And I feel like that's when all of this really good shift starts happening. So you might have been putting up with a lot of bullshit, but you're a bull, so you can, the Taurus energy, this is the second sign in the zodiac. This is like toddler energy. And, what I mean by that, it's about learning about the give and take, and then, getting very good at it. And when you start to learn how much of yourself you want to invest in others, in how much are you going to invest in, what are you going to invest in, what is your anticipated return, how much, is it a fair exchange of energy? And you learn through discernment not to put up with any bullshit from anyone. The Taurus energy is, that's the biggest lesson for Taurus energy, because they care about their possessions, because they're the toddler of the universe. Now you ask a toddler to share, and we've all seen it when they, like at the grocery checkout, when they don't want to share and they'll throw a fit, and they're like a bull in a china shop. And that's the energy. And some people will say they're very stubborn, but that Taurus energy can also be considered very like someone who perseveres no matter what. And it's paid off for you big time here. Yeah, it's a really loving energy. Taurus energy is like loving to have a beautiful home and have that energy and that security. It's very important to the Taurus energy. And we're going to clarify now with my oracle cards. My oracle is Tales from the Vector, and I started this back in 2007, and this is one of the paintings that I worked on. I completed all 64 paintings in 2020. This is actually not the original, it's a reproduction. And I have been working on getting the tarot out there now, but I just have had time now to work on my channel here to be able to gather the information. I have written information, but you may have noticed what's on paper is not always how it works out in real life. So I am working on that right now, and the numbers on the cards I'm using, I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and this is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I will put the numbers that are on the cards. The numbers here are the way that the number that they're listed on in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And this energy, I will put all the information in the description box below, the order that they appear, so you'll know which cards to look at or which paintings to look at if you're interested in that. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. There we are, you're representing yourself here. Okay, so we have dissemination of information. So this is a tactic that's used quite often. This is when people start believing in their own press, and you probably, your intuition was probably saying to you, there's something not right here, and you could feel it, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it, or you saw it, but maybe it was people you cared about, and so you didn't want to believe that about them. And so this is dissemination of information is when there's an elephant in the room, and it's like, elephant? What elephant? I don't see an elephant. And quite often when people are trying to motivate other people, they'll say, believe in yourself. But when you believe in your own press, sometimes a lot of us have some very limiting expectations of ourselves. Like we have limiting beliefs that really hold us back. So sometimes it's better not to believe in yourself and to look at it from a different angle. Maybe you are more than you think you are. And then this energy is talking about an energetic upgrade, basically the magician energy. And in my oracle, this is a beautiful golden dragon, and she's actually from Peru, and she's playing in a puddle, and out of the mud comes the beautiful water lilies. And so it's that type of energy. When you go through a lot, that's how you get to pre-Empress, Empress energy. You have to have lived something and decided, you know what? Despite everything that's happening, I'm going to stay on my path. I'm going to be the best version I can be. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to lower my standards. I'm going to continue on my path and just do the best that I can with what I have. And that's because of that, you're now being rewarded. The Capricorn energy is talking about, this is the most mature of the pentacle signs. So this is the also the element of earth. And it's talking about having a lot of ambition. And this is the most, you know, a lot of responsibilities and ruled by Saturn. Now, Saturn moved into the sign of Aries it followed Neptune into the sign of Aries. So Neptune moved into Aries. I think it was towards the end of February, and the beginning of March was when Saturn moved in. And this energy is going to be, Neptune will be there for in Aries for the next 14 years, and Saturn will be in there for about 2.5 to 3. And we have the Aries energy right here as well. And I feel that's what it's saying, that it's having an effect on everybody. You know, you think about the Neptune rules Pisces, and Pisces is the very last sign in the horoscope. And it's about, you know, more of a idealistic, dreamier type energy. And, you know, when it moved into Aries, that's like the opposite. It's a newborn baby, you know, saying, I want, you know, and making their needs known. So it's changing everybody, the way we approach things, and it's going to be with us for 14 years. So we all kind of have to adapt to a little bit of new energy, and Taurus doesn't like that. Taurus likes things to stay kind of, okay, at least in your home for sure. You want that security, and the Aries energy is sitting right on you. So it's saying that you're going to need to adapt to change, but your change that's coming in definitely looks like it's for the better. So be open to it and recognize that you don't be stubborn, because, you know, when the bull digs its heels in, then the red flag comes out, and and the next thing you know, the temper is flaring, right? And this is not, the year of the fire horse is not a good year to get into that stubborn, I'm going to throw a temper tantrum energy. And so the guiding star energy is following your North Star. And that's why, because you reined in your emotions and followed your destined path, congratulations, you did a really good job. The Wheel of Fortune energy is coming in. The Wheel of Fortune is turning because you disciplined your mind and you used what you had, basically. And look at the Taurus energy is right on this queen right here. So you're actually representing yourself. And, you know, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and this is about receiving. So, you know, this is talking about having the discernment to be able to tell the difference between people that are for you or against you, or whether it's worth your investment, or, you know, investment in investing in them or not. That type of energy. And this is saying there could have been some jealousy here. So this energy that's coming from the external forces, quite often this card can also represent sibling rivalry, which is very common in the universe. This card of sibling rivalry, this karmic space of jealousy, is actually, you know, those little Russian dolls that all fit into each other, those little wooden painted dolls. And they're all very pretty, but some are looking at the other ones like, you look prettier than me. They painted your face better. That type of energy. So this is having the courage to face maybe some sort of energy in someone in your family, one of your siblings might be very jealous of you and causing issues in that. You know, and so the external forces, we're talking about ego. So this is another karmic space. And yeah, if you don't keep your ego in check, you know, it can be really this energy here where you need to recognize that, you know, you're the center of your universe and you're on your journey, but so is everybody else. And so you need to keep this in check, especially in the year of the fire horse energy. And so you don't want to be always digging, you know, you want to be careful about what you dig your heels in, because sometimes, you know, like that toddler energy, we see that at the checkouts where, you know, someone's been really patient, and then all of a sudden, you know, of course they put all the candy and the chocolate bars at the cash register after, you know, the poor kid has been through like this boring trip for groceries, unless you find an exciting way to make it, or a way to make it more exciting. And so this energy can be really challenging. And if you know, like toddlers throw temper tantrums when they don't get what they want. And that energy is, there's a stubborn streak in the bull, and, you know, in that bull energy. So you have to be aware of it and, you know, make it work for you. What some people call stubborn, other people call perseverance. And yeah, but you don't want to become so attached to something. It's kind of like this idea of when you become attached to someone or something to the point where it becomes a karmic space, this energy can be like, you know, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. That type of energy. We have the world in the transition. So this is a whole new world opening up for you. And this is represented by moving into this new cycle. So it's really good. It means you've achieved a lot here and you've learned a lot, like to get to this position. And I feel like this is coming in very quickly on the spiritual realm. And I don't feel like you're going to remain cold forever. You just... you know, I feel like that with all the passion that this energy is coming in with, that you may let go of this anger and whatever, and just have faith in the universe again. If you don't have faith in your path, when you're on the chariot, it represents that you're on God's path. And that's like a tank. It's going to take you where to go. Just, you know, it doesn't require reins. It just requires you being the best version you can be, despite what's going on around you. We do have Leo energy here, and this Leo energy is, you know, talking about that impulsiveness again. So, you know, sometimes when people are in an energy, like Leos are natural born leaders, and this, you know, we can learn from them. The thing is, they usually take a bit of time to mature to become that good leader. Think about you know, young boys, you know, under the, you know, like that are like maybe adolescent age, teenage boys, and think about how impulsive they are. And quite often, you know, they're thinking with their little head a lot. Like they're just like, they're dealing with hormones that we don't, you know, that they're not used to. And so it can cause like, they might be destined to be really good leaders, but they haven't matured into that position. So sometimes that energy can come off as being very arrogant because they lack confidence, so they try and cover it up. And then we have the Libra energy, and this is talking about the energy of being mature enough to make a committed relationship. So sometimes, a lot of the times when people end up divorced or whatever, it's just because they weren't mature enough to understand what it really takes. Like the Libra energy is when you're a mature adult, you're ready for marriage, you're ready, you know, you're in that position, and you can anticipate a strong outcome because you don't have these limiting expectations without really having the knowledge of what, you know, like starting a family really requires. And then that's when a lot of the times the expectations just are not met. And then we have justice coming in. So yeah, I feel like I don't feel like there's a whole lot here that's saying that, you know, this is not good energy. But sometimes this could just represent thoughts being directed your way. But there is some gossip and slander. They were doing their best to affect your reputation. Could be copycat energy, that type of energy. But justice will be served. We have Libra's about justice, and so is this redemption. So a lot of times when justice is coming in, that means karma is going to be served. And it means, because where did we have the attachment here? It's like letting go of that which no longer serves you. Because if you're hanging on to the people that are involved in your injustice, and the karma is going to hit, if you're still hanging on to them and attached to them, it's going to hit you as well. And a lot of times people think karma is punishment, but it really isn't. It's cause and effect. It's like basically just that. You can have direct karma because of your actions or your inactions, when you should have spoke up, or you should have done something and you didn't, or you did, and you know, and now your actions always catch up with you. Justice, the truth always comes out eventually. It might take a long time, but it does come out. And this energy is also, and that's maybe you've been waiting a long time for justice. You can have indirect karma, like the direct karma is, this is my actions, this is what happened. Indirect would be more like hanging on to people that you're attached to that are about to get hit with karma, and not letting them go. Let them go. And the other energy is also, sometimes it can be your ancestors didn't have time to clean things up before they crossed the veil, and so that gets passed down. And then we also have these karmic spaces. The good thing is when these karmic spaces come up, it means that you're clearing karma for not just yourself, but your entire family. So really, really, really good reading. I like this reading for you a lot, Taurus. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and comment if you have. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. Bye for now.